Hi guys. So, full moon, Sagittarius, whatever. I don't do the astrology stuff. I'm not saying there's not lots to it, but there's only so much my little nice brain can handle. And sometimes if I remember and learn new stuff, other stuff falls out the other side of my ear. I was just having a few conversations these last couple days. And I just want to make this video to I don't know what words to use more perspective, okay? To maybe help open your mind or open your heart a little bit. So, I know there's a lot of racism, I guess, out there. And I don't like to talk or own any of that, because if we peel our skin off, we're all the same. There's, we all got our shit. We all got our dramas. We all come from a place. And I just don't understand how you couldn't be nice to somebody just because they look different from yourself. Speaking as a Heinz 57 girl that married a Heinz 57 boy, it's difficult when you're trying to own your own traditions and you hear really mean comments. Because they're your own traditions. It's just something you need to, I didn't do whatever my ancestors did, but it's my job to make and bring forward more light and more love, in my opinion. Whether you go to church or whether my biggest thing that I think I've always tried to live by is they will know you are Christians by your love. But I believe that and I still honor that. However, a lot of Christians aren't very nice. However, anybody that's scared that I found that through meetings, endless amounts of people, that their anger or their judgments or their fears or whatever, they're scared because they think if you're right, then that means they're wrong. And with all the experience that I have personally lived in my life, from really bad to really good, to witnessing really bad and really good. I forget where the hell I was going. I've just seen a lot. And maybe I've seen a lot more than other people that haven't. Or maybe you're just starting out. But when you're out there in public and you see somebody just by the color of their skin or where they come from or where you think they come from. Or I was just having a lovely discussion at work too with the nurses, and there are so many dynamics that go behind what a person is. And it doesn't have anything to do sometimes with their race or where they were born or where they're brought up or what religion they have. There's a lot of fighting with religion just because, that was my point. Is people are scared. And somebody's going to drive by. So hold on a sec. I gotta say hello. Oh, she didn't see me. But I don't care. I still say hello. And in a situation like that, maybe some people would think, and again, label it whatever you want for your own personal whatever. But it doesn't have to have a label. If it's anxiety or whatever. If somebody ignores you, maybe they're busy as hell. Maybe they didn't see you. Maybe they are just in a totally different, they're in the zone and they really can't see anything else. Maybe if they don't focus on what's in front of them, they're going to fall apart. Maybe life is just dealing them something real shitty. I had a beautiful conversation with a beautiful person that's in my life. And she talked about how she got here. And we've all got those stories. Like, she was sleeping on the floor for a while and it was horrible, but she had no choice. She had no other options. And for me, I lived in a house that literally is condemned right now. I remember there was a bathtub, like when we're all starting out, it's not always beautiful. Sometimes it can be fucking awful and ugly and depressing and sad, but you gotta keep going. You gotta push through. My first house had bugs all over the walls, and I had a bathtub downstairs, and there was water leaks coming through the floor. Like, it was awful, but it was all I could afford. And I remember taking my husband now, my partner, and showing him. I said, there used to be a house here, and it's like gone. Like, it's gone. And it was funny because we were like right on the edge, and we were, in the rougher area. But again, I was whatever you want to call it. I guess we call that rougher, right? But sometimes you don't know that there is a choice. I remember saying yes to, like in 1996, when I said, that's it. There's got to be better than this. There has to be something better than what I'm living right now. And I said, okay, God, lead the way. Now, for me, I am very blessed and honored because I've always had my faith. I'm not spitting on you. I'm spitting on myself because you're on a video. But I've always had my faith. So I'm very, very lucky that way, because I understand there's a lot of people out there that don't even have that. And I can't imagine not having a Team 34, not having Jesus, Ganesh, Green Terra, Mary, endless angels, power animals. I can't imagine walking or not having faith, because my faith has got me through some really ugly moments. And I've taken a lot of different classes because I wanted to challenge myself. I want to show myself what the hell is in this world. Some people move like 24 hours away from home on their own. I had to take baby steps back then. I was like an hour, and then 2 hours, and then 6 hours. Those were massive for me. Those were massive. And I remember moving away for my first time, just seeing what's out there, right? Because this is not the only life. Wherever you are, that is not the only way. It is not the only way of life. It is not the only thing that exists, because if you were anywhere else, your life would be different. But you would know that it was different because you wouldn't experience different. Like, even when I moved to, I'll just say, another province, it was much different than the one I live in now. Where here you'd talk to everybody, and sometimes you couldn't even get through a drive-through without freaking people talking to you. Now it's different because it's not the same anymore. But back then, you couldn't even get through a drive-through quickly because everybody would talking to everybody. I'm not saying that's bad, but sometimes if you're, you got to get going. You got to get going. And sometimes I'll have blinders on and I won't see people because I need the peanut butter, but I don't have time to talk or visit because I'm literally on a peanut butter stage. So if somebody else sees me and I don't see them, and then they take it personally that, oh my God, she didn't even see me, she didn't blah, blah, blah. That's our own shit. That's when we're talking about facing your lessons and taking care of things, that's what I mean. That's what we all mean, okay? When something starts festering and saying, oh, they don't like me, they're not talking to me, what the hell is wrong with them? They just have no time for me, they don't love me. That's your shit. That's our own shit. That's our shit. Not the other person. It's not the other person's responsibility to be there for us. You can't have one person be your friend, your sister, your lover. You can't have one person that does it all, okay? You can't, because they can't offer you everything. They can only offer what they are. Even your husband or your partner or your wife or whatever. They can't be everything. You have to have other things that, like dogs or animals or other friends or girls' night or boys' night or D&D night or game night or Tai Chi, or you gotta have other things to learn different things. Because it's beautiful that way. Like, there's so many fucking beautiful things out there. What started everything is I went to a Sobeys, and I think I digressed, but that's okay. Spirit always knows where it needs to go. And I was asked if I was Japanese because I was looking for Japanese food. And I said, no, I'm not Japanese. And But some people would actually get mad at that. Why the fuck would I get mad at that? No. I'm not going to get mad at that. It's just, who the fuck knows? Because I don't know where half the people I work with are from. Like, they're from different places. Hell, they could be my neighbors and I don't even know. Anyways, because I was looking for sushi. I said, no, I'm not Japanese, but I said, I just like sushi. Like, I like certain kinds of sushi, not all sushi. But anyways, I like some of the Asian, I was corrected today, some of the Asian cuisine. And that's another thing. Like, this is why I hate fucking labels, because different labels are insulting to different people. And I thought something was going down over there, but it's just a carpet. That's our own shit. So I grew up when, there was terms honky and white Indian, and I don't know. I never took any offense to any of it. What's the other one? Crouch? No, crotch. Oh, crotch. Kraut or something? Because for Germans, you call krauts. They'd call us krauts. But I didn't. It's a fucking word. Just like fuck, right? It's a word. So heal what's inside so that you can experience the fucking amazing people that are out there. Like, the amazing cultures, the different people, like, and I know certain cultures are quieter and everybody's different. So I go into work and I'll razz everybody exactly the same. And you know what? Maybe my own culture gets pissed off and the fuck you so bubbly for. But it doesn't matter. I don't care. And it's not about that. And I'm only speaking culture because that's what inspired this video. And I said, no, I'm not Japanese. And she goes, oh, well, the only people that come in here are Filipinos and Indian. And I said, oh, well, I can tell by the food offerings because I just wanted supper. I wanted something that was already prepped and I didn't want to hit fast food anymore and I wanted something a little healthier. She goes, well, try Superstore. They might have it. And I said, well, see, that's super nice. Don't just focus on what you don't have. Like, you guide people every day. And even that was just beautiful because she didn't have it. She learned something. And she's just a person, right? Like, I don't know. It just fucking blows my mind how somebody can hate somebody just because of how they look or how they don't look. And you know what? I don't know a lot of white people that I work with. But everybody I work with is fucking wonderful. And whatever. Like I said, it's not race for me, or it's not about that. It's, are you kind? What can you bring to the table that is just, are you kind? And you know what? Even if you're not, it's the amount of energy that I'll give, right? But I'll still always give it. One lady was getting into her car, and I know some of the girls I work with, yes, they're different cultures, but they're very freaking timid and very quiet. So I always make sure, don't hit my truck. I always make sure that, hey, I was like, where the hell are you going? I said, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She starts laughing. She goes, oh, yeah. Because they have to figure out who I am, right? But there's a lot of mean people. Like, I've listened to a couple girls and guys, and there's just a lot of fucking mean people out there that judge them just because of the way they look, and they have no idea where they're from. And that leads me back to one of my other stories that, my two favorite stories from Winnipeg when I lived there. I would ask cultures all the time. Like, it blows my mind how many different cultures are out there and what they grew up with and what they think is normal, just like what I think is normal. That's why I said, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it's only normal to you because that's where you grew up. It's only normal to you, okay? Even your family dynamics, your ancestry, it's only representative, that's another word, of you. Because your life pattern is so not the same as anybody else's. When I share some of my stories, some of these kids just look at me and go, holy fuck. How are you smiling right now? And I said, did you just keep going? Just like Dory, just keep swimming. Yeah, sometimes shit fucking sucks, okay? And there's been lots of times where I thought I was going to exit. Naturally and not naturally. But when you get the help and you do the healing and you do the work, you can be happy. You can find that peace and that love and that heaven on earth. You can find that joy. you can find happiness and peace in the chaos. You can dance in the fucking storm and dance in the rain. And you know what? You don't have to force yourself to be in the storm all the time. If you can't handle a fucking highway drive because it's just causing too much, maybe it's time to be done. That's why we moved to the city. It wasn't a fear base. It's like, okay, what's the best move for us? Because it was sucking our abundance down the hole. And we're so closer now. Like, it's just, my stress is just poof. And every time it snows, I'm like, hi, snow. And I'm back to, I love snow and I feel good again. And I'm back on some vitamins that I needed, that I didn't know I needed because I was so sad inside. But I was fucking tired. And then we got the puppy. So I paid a little bit of money for some unconditional love because that's what I needed. And basically, you surround yourself with people that bring you joy. I'm not saying that they always have to be happy and they always have to be in a high state. I'm saying that if they choose to not change, then that is a choice. And it's just not okay to not evolve. Because if you want to stay in a miserable state fine, that is a choice. But don't expect everybody, or the ones that make you happy, or the ones that fill your heart, don't expect them to stay in your misery, because just because you choose to be there, the light workers will keep pushing forward, okay? Because you want to evolve, you want to love people, you want to be kind. I remember, my 3 stories that I digressed from again. So my one friend, I can't remember where he was from. It was from a war country. And he says, Stacey, you don't understand. Some of these people just don't understand how blessed they are to be here. They don't get it. And don't forget, like, I was born here, but my ancestors weren't. My ancestors also had a horrible time where they were from. So they wanted to, what's the past tense for seek? They wanted to see, they wanted to seek peace. They wanted to seek freedom. They wanted a better life for their family. And that's how I got here. I mean, I was born here, yes. And my interpretation and my family and the people I grew up with were much different than, that's why I said this racism, I don't get it. Because we never looked at each other like that, ever. But anyways, he says, they don't get it. He says, we would go for coffee, and he says, and we wouldn't even know if we would see our friend the next day. He says, we'd go for coffee, and then all of a sudden, one of our friends would get bombed on the way home, and they'd be gone. It was just, life was that unpredictable. It was just so much fighting, so much anger, so much awful, bad shit, bad stuff. And yeah, there's lots of bad stuff happening out there. But you know what? There's lots of good, too. There's lots of good. And then my friend I think he was from Africa. It was a part that never got snow. It was always fucking hot. Because, he cursed. And I know I've shared this before because, oh my God, I laughed so hard. I'm sure I peed. He was yelling and bitching. He goes, if it's too fucking cold for a car, he says, it's too cold for humans. He goes, what kind of bullshit is this? Oh my God, he went on and on. I was laughing so hard, I was crying. Like, it was just great. It was great having people free to speak whatever they wanted to speak. I am so honored by all the different cultures, races, whatever fucking label you want to use, that have welcomed me into their life and not judged me. I'm not saying I wasn't judged in the beginning, but even if I felt that judgment, as soon as I was kind, it's gone. Like, that fucking wall's gone. And as soon as I just, hey, some don't even get a hi. It's just not nice. But I said, once you open up your heart and they know that you're not anybody, me too. If you open up your heart to me, I'm like, oh, come on, let's dance, And even if you don't have the same beliefs, doesn't mean you can't respect other people's disagreements. Like, just because they have a belief, that means you need to hate them or judge them or cut them down or make them feel like a piece of shit. That's not right. That's healing. That means you need some fucking healing, because you need to reach inside yourself and realize that it's not the only way. And you're not the only belief system, and you're not the only one that's been raped or beaten or molested or alienated or judged or cheated on or had an awful relationship or been betrayed or been abandoned, or like it's just, you're not the only one. And I'm not saying you got to focus on that dude, like you're seriously it's not that we have to unhonor or dishonor. We have to honor our stories, but we have to heal from those stories, because as we progress, I'm kind to everyone. So I'm not going to go and sit in this little basket of if these guys hated these guys 100 years before I was born. You know what? That's their bullshit, their karma, and I'm not taking that forward. I'm going to respect. I had a guy say that I didn't like him because he was in a wheelchair. And I said, no, I don't like you because you're an asshole. And he was freaking mean. He was a pig. And he was a young pig that was trying to pick me up. So blunt was required. But you need your boundaries. You need to honor your boundaries. And it's not a matter of, just because you disagree or just because you don't have the same radar or the same experience or the same people in your life. I mean, fuck, if there's a bunch of people that are hating everybody around you, step away. Go sit with a tree. Go listen to the animals. Listen to a video. Listen to a peace of mind. Find things that bring you joy. I'm going to pull one card and then I have to go pee. I don't know. I hope I help give you a little bit of perspective, because that's all I want, is just to help open your mind. Because if I can help open your mind, then you can help open your own heart and open your own experience, so that instead of sitting in hate and fear, you find the joy and the love that can be offered in this life. Because it doesn't have to be ugly. Sorry, it doesn't have to be ugly. And yeah, sometimes you have to sleep on the floor and the situations are disgusting and awful. But if you keep moving, things will get better. Keep trusting. Keep following the doors that go. Okay, I'm going to get you a screen. Emotions, memory, life. So that's a gorgeous picture. When I flow like water, the vibration of my emotions and psychic becomes light and blissful. Okay, so that's for everybody. Here's a screenshot of page number 1. Take a screenshot and screenshot for page number 2. And I'll try and get on again later, but again, if things are busy, just be in life. Be in the moment that you're in. Find joy. Find your peace, because, and you know what, if you want to sit in your misery, then that's okay. And if you really enjoy drama, then that's okay. I mean, we all have choices, and if that's what you like, that's what you like. I mean, some people like to hang from, the sex swings or nipple piercings, or what are those nipple clamps? You know what? If that's what floats your boat, do what you gotta do. Some people like pain, and sometimes they like the emotional pain. And if they say they don't and they're still choosing it, then you do. I don't even know how to be very aggressive anymore. I was playing some sticks it's called staffs in my Tai Chi, which I freaking love. I just love. You got to find something you love. And the group that I'm with, I know they probably think I'm nuts, but I am so bubbly like this all the time. And I just think they're amazing. I think they're amazing humans. I love listening to what they have to say. I love talking to them. Even if they're speaking a different language, I still love being there. I can even try and pick apart, because there's a lot of French people. And I'm even trying to pick apart, because I had a few French classes. And even if I don't care. I'm just so happy to be there. And I'm so grateful. And God will put you exactly where you need to go. Even if you don't have faith, like I told my husband, he says, I hope you're right. And I said, well, who cares even if I'm not? I said, if I'm not right and there's nothing after this, then there's nothing after this, and you're not going to give a shit, and nothing's going to be nothing, right? You're not going to care if there's nothing. But if living in fear and thinking there's nothing is depressing and disgusting and awful, then what the fuck does faith hurt? Faith doesn't hurt you. Love doesn't hurt you. And if I can choose love and magic and faith and the acceptance for all, the unconditional love, even if I don't agree with, certain things, I just don't want it as a part of my life. And I choose not to have it as a part of my life. And there's more sensitive topics, like abuse and, when people are sexually bad to kids. I mean, there's lots of things that are triggers for us. And there's just some things I want out of my life, and I'll do my best to keep the people in my life safe that are brought to me. And I don't know. Life can be beautiful too, and if you can heal that rage and that fear, and hell, get to a different city, get to a different time zone and fucking check it out. Because when you trust and I'm not saying that you need to change people when you get there. I'm saying you need to embrace what you learn, I was saying that I went to a different province and they didn't even hold doors. Hell, I'd be standing there looking at a sweater and I'd be bumped out of the way. I'd be like, fuck, don't you see me? I'm right here. So there's different, and I'm not saying it's not all good. Like, I couldn't go to Toronto, for example. I was told that you got to be real super aggressive and pushy to get onto a bus. I couldn't be that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that type of nurse. I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be I don't mind helping people evolve and saying, no, own your shit. Tough love. But I don't want to be aggressive and mean, or abusive. So I also don't want that against me anymore. And just because you're perceived as weak or nice doesn't mean you're not strong. Doesn't mean you can't kick some serious ass in this life. Because when they say the meek shall own the earth, or something like that. I can't remember. But anyways, have a great day. I hope I warmed your heart a little bit. Be kind to yourself. Do your mirror work if you need to love yourself. Bring some peace into your life if you can, because you're worth it. You're worthy. You've done nothing wrong. You've done the best you could up until now. Once you know better, do better. And stop being so fucking hard on yourself. Take a break. Put your feet up, read a book, get some puppy snuggles, sit in the grass, while we have it. There's going to be snow pretty soon here. Lay in the snow with your ski pants and your warm stuff on, because it's still lovely out there if you can just lay in the snow. It feels so good on the body, especially if you're having a hot flash. Anyways, blessings. Namaste. Espavo. I have lots of classes and stuff if you're interested. We have a Holy Fire Karuna Reiki coming up in February. We have a Reiki Master teacher class, Holy Fire, or whatever, either or, coming up in March, I believe. We have Reiki practice if you want to practice and connect back to that Reiki energy to help support your life, to help bring peace to yourself and to your surroundings so that you can get through life a little bit easier. That's January 18th. We have a solstice, December 21st, to celebrate the sun and the earth. That'll be in our home this year. So hopefully my neighbors are going to hear me drum for the first time outside. Anyways, blessed be. Be kind to yourself. You're the one that you have to live with. You're the one that has to see yourself every single day. So find what brings you joy and feed yourself so much of that.